Ford has just fired 580 engineers. Now, this would kind of make sense if they were all working on internal combustion engine vehicles, right? Ford has said they need to fire people working on that part of their business. But the bizarre part is that many of them actually work currently on Ford's electric cars. So what exactly is going on here? Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you today. And you know what? It's fantastic to see so many smiling faces. All these subscribers coming on over the last 11 months. We're nearly hit 70,000 now. Thank you. I really appreciate your support. And I really appreciate those of you who have supported my boys and their little YouTube channel. They love it. They've had a lot of fun and they love your comments that you've put on their channel. I'll put a link in the description below to their channel. Now, Ford. What is going on? Well, Ford just announced they essentially lost $3.1 billion this quarter. Now, because if you can claim a gain on your Rivian shares, which they did in the fourth quarter of 2021, then you've got to take the good with the bad. You can't have your cake and eat it, right? You're going to claim a gain. You want to claim a gain, then you've got to claim a loss when a loss comes along. And I, for one, don't think we've seen the bottom of Rivian stock yet. Personally, I can't understand why Ford didn't sell their stock a long time ago after they were allowed to, which I believe was a couple of months ago. They didn't, so they lost a lot of money. But they're not just losing money because of their sale of Rivian, because of their ownership of Rivian stock. They're also losing money because their revenue is declining drastically. In fact, it's nearly half this quarter versus what it was the same quarter last year. And last year's quarter wasn't a particularly great quarter either. Ford's vehicle sales are declining rapidly, just as Volkswagens are. What is happening right now? Well, Teslas are going up, BYDs are going up, all the Chinese automakers, EV makers are going up, legacy autos are going down. Ford's saying we're restructuring, we're firing 580 engineers, many of whom work on their electric cars because we need a totally different skill set. That's what Jim Farley said. Does this make sense to you? Because it doesn't make sense to me. You've just hired people within the last year to work on your electric cars. And you're already saying we don't need you. Really? Ford doesn't need engineers to work on electric cars for you? Really? I don't know how this is. I honestly can't understand. I'm not an engineer though. Maybe there's some engineers. I know there's some engineers that watch this channel. Please educate me in the comment section below. What is going on? Now, I want to share with you a little thing that happened right before Jim Farley came into power as Ford's CEO. When Jim Hackett was CEO, the company fired a whole lot of people, and it intentionally fired people who were near retirement age or were older and more productive engineers. Now, they said they did this to appease shareholders of the company and to simply make more profit. Obviously, it was a short-term endeavor. Make this quarter's profit look better. And to me, that was not a good decision. They got caught for doing that. They got into trouble. It made them look bad, make them look like they were targeting certain people, which they were. Not targeting the positions because the positions weren't needed, but targeting certain people. Now, this is what Jim Farley had to say about these recent firings. We continue to align staffing around the critical skills needed to deliver our products, services, and the Ford Plus plan. Monique Brentley made those comments. She's a Ford spokeswoman, and she spoke and was speaking to the Ford, and she was speaking to the Free Press. We are making adjustments in select US engineering teams, which includes some reassignments as well as a reduction of 580 engineers. The company didn't say the exact percentage of these engineers who work on the electric side and those who work on the internal combustion engine vehicle side. I'm guessing it's more for the internal combustion engine vehicles, but we don't know. Now, this is a pretty sudden move. Get this. Ford team leaders notified their salaried workers individually on Wednesday to conclude their service by the end of the week. They gave them 2 days notice. 2 days. I mean, what? If you leave a job you've got to give your employer 4 weeks, right? Minimum 4 weeks. How is it that Ford can just give them 2 days notice? I mean, I'm not making this up. This comes from the Detroit Free Press. These guys are pretty well dialed into the situation. Unbelievable to me. Anyway, Ford CEO Jim Farley, this is what he said. The company needs different talent. Totally different talent. Anyway, at least they do get some benefits packages. Ford say they are giving a package of benefits to the eligible full-time employees they're getting rid of. So that's 350 of the 580. The other ones get nothing. They just get to work for 2 more days and bye-bye. You're not full-time, so see you later. Anyway, the lucky 350, they get severance equal to up to 9 months of pay based on service, based on how long they've worked for, benefits continuation for up to 9 months, and career transition services. In addition, they say we look holistically at what components would best meet the needs of employees making a transition, whether that be other full-time employment, entrepreneurial pursuits, or exploring retirement options, which is probably what most of them will do if they're working as engineers for internal combustion engines. If they're working in the electric car side of things, well, I'm sure Tesla would be happy to have some more skilled engineers. Now, Farley did sort of give warning in advance, in a way. In March, he announced Ford's plan to, fire lots of people. He basically said, Ford told industry analysts Wednesday evening, right after the firings, during the first quarter earnings. So yes, they fired these people like 2 hours before the earnings call was announced, before their massive decline in revenue was announced. And they said the company planned to close a talent gap and Ford was aggressively working to hire new talent. Doug Field, Chief Electric Vehicle and Digital Systems Officer for Ford Model E, told analysts on Wednesday, as far as attracting talent, I've been really delighted and surprised by the kind of talent that we can attract from tech. But interestingly, Ford executives made no mention of these firings during their earnings call. But Farley did say during the call, at this point in time, our real work that we need to do is to get after these inefficiencies and improve the productivity of our base business. Now, to put this in context and to be fair, Ford employs around 87,000 people in the United States. That includes 31,000 salaried employees. This is incredible to me though, 68% of Ford's employees are not employees, they're just contracted staff who they can fire at any moment, give them 2 days notice, off you go, see you later. This totally shocks me. This is nearly 70% of their entire workforce. 56,000 of Ford's 87,000 employees are simply casual workers. Honestly, this to me should be something talked about more often. I think this is it's not a good look in my view for Ford. Neither is hiring people who work for your electric car division. That says to me, why did you hire them in the first place? You would have only hired them, maybe a year ago, maximum? Why are they no longer needed when they were needed then? If Ford is actually taking electrification seriously, why would you fire engineers who are specialist electric car engineers? Clearly that's what they are. And if they weren't before they were first hired, they must be by now. Anyway, I don't know what's going on here at Ford. Maybe some of you do. Maybe some of you work there. Please enlighten me in the comment section below. I would love to know more. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.